Flying Boxcar recap in 3, 2, 1. It was game one of the three-game set between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the York Revolution on Tuesday. And, well, unfortunately, it was all York on Tuesday. Final score 10-1 in favor of the Revolution. 10 runs on 15 hits for York. One run on 3 hits for the Boxcars. The winning pitcher, the starter for the York Revolution that went the distance in this one, facing 29 batters, throwing 106 pitches, but going 9 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 9. The highlight for the Boxcars was Joe DeLuca smashing his 6th home run, 422 feet out of Meredith Park in the second inning. But that was all the offense for the Boxcars on Tuesday. They take on the York Revolution in Game 2 of this final 3-game set of the homestand for the Flying Boxcars on Wednesday. 6:30 first pitch. Come on out. Bark at the Park night. Brought to you by Hardy Pet. So if you want to bring your 4-legged pup out to the ballpark, go ahead and do it tomorrow or do it on Wednesday. And if you can't come out to the ballpark, you can always tune in on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network on Flow Sports. I'm Jordan Icewarner from the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network.
Birthday Club, the Birthday Club. Everybody celebrates the Birthday Club on WRGG.
We're starting back in 1880 with the birth of Jeanette Rankin. American politician, was the first woman to be elected to the House of Representatives. She was a Republican from Montana, was elected in 1916 and 1940. A lifelong pacifist, she voted against entering into both world wars. Jacques Cousteau, born on this day in 1910, French naval officer, explorer, ecologist, filmmaker, and inventor of the aqua lung, or the scuba tank, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. In case you ever wonder what scuba stood for.
Aqua lung seems so much better.
Oh, I know. Come on, Jeff Rotel.
I know, that's what I think of.
He hosted the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau on television from 1966 to 1976, and the Cousteau Odyssey from 1977 to 1982. Vince Lombardi, born on this day in 1913, football coach who led the Green Bay Packers to 5 NFL championships in 7 years, plus the first 2 Super Bowls. He also coached the Redskins for 1 season back in 1969. Had some great quotes, including "Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. And the measure of who we are is what we do with what we have."
That one gets misscrewed. The first one gets misscrewed a lot.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
not winning is everything.
Right.
Winning's not the only thing. It's everything. No.
No.
It's, wanting to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder, born on this day in 1935, American actor, comedian, writer, and filmmaker. He started off in dramatic films like Bonnie and Clyde. Of course, he went on to star in a string of Mel Brooks hits, including The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, which he co-wrote. He was also Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and a series of films with Richard Pryor, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and Another You. Adrienne Barbeau, born on this day in 1945, American actress, played Maud's daughter on TV, went on to star in a number of films, including The Fog, Creepshow, Swamp Thing, Escape from New York. A number of films directed by her husband at the time, John Carpenter. And she originated the role of Rizzo in Grease on Broadway, and she was the voice of Catwoman in Batman, the animated series. Frank Beard, born on this day in 1949, American musician and drummer for ZZ Top. Ironically, of course, the guy named Beard was the only member who didn't have a beard.
Yeah. Yes.
Along with Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill, they were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. Songs like Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, and Cheap Sunglasses. Bonnie Pointer, born on this day in 1951, member of the Pointer Sisters. Of course, in 1974, people forget they won a Grammy for Best Country Vocal Performance by a duo group for the song Fairy Tale. Made them the first African-American women to win a Grammy in a country category, and the only ones until Beyonce did so recently. And she actually left the Pointer Sisters in 1977 to start a solo career, had a huge hit with Heaven Must Have Sent You. Joe Montana, born on this day in 1956, American football quarterback, led Notre Dame to the 1977 national title and led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl wins. He was also a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He was inducted in the Football Hall of Fame in the year 2000. Hugh Laurie, born on this day in 1959, English comedian, actor, writer, part of the comedy duo Fry and Laurie. He's also, of course, on the TV show House MD, as well as Blackadder. Released 2 blues albums. It's actually been featured on the Box of Blues, which, by the way, you can hear here on WRGG Sunday nights from 8 to 11.
Yes.
Peter Dinklage, born on this day in 1969, American actor. Of course, he's an Elf, X-Men Days of Future Past, Pixels, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Avengers Infinity War, Game of Thrones, and The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do, Bill. Here they are for today. The 11th day of June, we celebrate Haley Appleby with a birthday today. Zach Burt has a birthday today. And Lynn Klein, that would be Gary's wife. How that all comes together. He's appearing at Green Grove Gardens on Saturday. Her birthday is today. So happy birthday to Haley, Lynn, and Zach right here on the Morning Show's Birthday Club. We do it each and every day before the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock news. Of course, we'll do it again coming up in 1 hour. You got a birthday you want to celebrate, go to our webpage, WRGG.org. Fill out the information there. We'll get it on the air. We'll celebrate your birthday or anniversary right here at 93.7 WRGG. I'm Greg Hoover. He's Bill Gore. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up in, we'll make it 8 minutes or so. Chris Palladino, Jason Kabler. Now, Jason wrote, Greg and I could be in a movie called See No Evil, Know No Evil. K-N-O-W. Know No Evil. Jason, you might have to explain that one when you come on, because I don't know that I get it. Bill, do you get it?
Well, I think he's blind, right?
I get that part.
So he doesn't see the evil, and then you just don't know any evil. You're just a good guy.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'm
Yes.
thinking it's a
No
compliment,
evil knows
right?
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe it's a compliment. I got to be honest with you. I just find it hard to believe this early in the morning he's doling out compliments to anyone, especially me here in the morning. So don't forget. Here we go. Got to remind you, coming up Friday, big day here on the radio station. I mean, a huge day on the radio station, but it's a huge day for Greencastle. Friday morning, we start the Drive-By Fun Drive at 6 a.m. We'll be on the front porch, and we'll feature Stan Flanner, believe it or not. And I know you're saying, what's Stan have to do with the Fun Drive? Well, not a darn thing, but he'll be here talking about the Antrim Brother in Christ Church's big car show coming up in just a few weeks, or maybe even closer than a few weeks. Then at 9 o'clock, it's a special edition of Chalk Talk, our locally produced local sports show with John Freeman and Gary Klein. And again, that name gets mentioned. Ed Gottwalls may join them if he can. And, of course, Mark DeCarli, head coach of the girls softball team, will be on the show, bringing the senior players with them. And we'll talk a little bit about softball, or a lot about softball. And, of course, that afternoon at 3 o'clock, if we can, depending on when we get up there, I was just thinking about that. We may not have our broadcast position available at 3 o'clock because there's a previous game going on at Penn State on the softball field. But as soon as we can, the pregame show gets underway. We'll have all the play-by-play action for you of the girls softball game as they take on Penn Trafford in the championship game of the PIAA 5A division, looking for Greencastle's second softball championship, and we'll have that again, the play-by-play right here at 93.7 WRGG. It's all coming up. You have to keep it right here, of course, to in order for all that to take place. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Well, don't go away. Chris, Jason, and Bill, and myself will be giving you our top 5 TV shows of the 1970s coming up right here. That's in the 7 o'clock hour, which is moments away. News and weather is coming up next.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
We are GA. We are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. California Governor Gavin Newsom is criticizing President Trump's response to protests in the L.A. area.
Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. This is about you.
In an address Tuesday night, Newsom said Trump escalated the situation by sending National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to deal with anti-ICE demonstrations. He went on to denounce the immigration raids that led to the protests last week. Newsom called for demonstrations to remain peaceful and promised that anyone arrested during violent protests will be prosecuted. The governor said over 200 people have been arrested in the L.A. area in connection to the protests. There is an overnight curfew in some sections of downtown Los Angeles. Anti-ICE protests are popping up in cities across the nation. In New York City, police made several arrests at a protest in Manhattan. Meanwhile, a crowd gathered outside a federal building in downtown Chicago after dozens of demonstrators took to the streets Tuesday afternoon, criticizing immigration raids targeting alleged illegal immigrants. Protesters also gathered along a highway in Atlanta. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are conducting raids in Ventura County, California. More from Mark Mayfield.
Agents arrived at an agricultural farm in Oxnard on Tuesday morning and started detaining people. A video posted online shows ICE agents chasing farm workers through a field. It's unclear how many people were detained. Oxnard Mayor Luis MacArthur says ICE agents are trying to enter agricultural fields in his city and are stopping vehicles.
A new bipartisan push in Congress aims to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Senators Josh Hawley, a Republican, and Democrat Peter Welch introduced the bill on Tuesday. It would double the current rate and tie future increases to inflation. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Headquartered in Greencastle and serving the tri-state area, Dice Office Equipment offers sales, service, and support for copiers, office printers, and managed print services to businesses and nonprofits within the region. Dice aims to make finding, repairing, and operating office equipment as easy as it should be, with quality products at fair prices, service for different equipment types, and a variety of brands to choose from. You can be sure a Dice solution will be tailored to meet your needs. Visit www.diceoe.com. That's www.diceoe.com for more information.
Dice's office equipment, now part of the CDS family.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan. Or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
Clyde's Grocery at Shady Grove has been serving the local area for over 60 years with quality meats and groceries. All of our meats at Clyde's Grocery are fresh cut daily. Our in-store deli features subs, sandwiches, and hot food. You will find a large selection of quality fresh baked bread, cookies, and cakes in our bakery. Klein's Grocery in Shady Grove, family owned and operated, where quality meats, great prices, and friendly service is a tradition.
WRGG would like to congratulate the Greencastle Antrim girls softball team on their highly successful season so far. We, as the whole community does, looks forward to their state championship game on Friday. Along with broadcasting the play-by-play on Friday, we have made some programming changes to our Friday morning schedule. We will be celebrating our 9th anniversary and conducting our drive-by fun drive on the front porch. While that is going on, we will welcome Coach Mark DeCarli as well as some of the players to a very special Chalk Talk with Gary Klein and John Freeman starting at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. And again, all this is taking place on the front porch. Tune in as we celebrate the accomplishments of this year's team as well as help send them off to Penn State for their big game. It's all happening Friday morning, 9 a.m. right here on your local sports connection, 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have sunny skies, high around 84. Clear tonight, low around 65. Thursday, sunny, high around 89. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low around 67. Friday, partly to mostly sunny skies with a chance of scattered afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms, high around 87. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 60 degrees under sunny skies in downtown Greencastle. Humidity still up at 91%. Record high for today, 97 degrees. 1911 was the year. 1913 was the year. It was 36 degrees for the record low. Average temps for today between 58 and 82. We are in that range. 5:42 in the a.m. when the sun came up. It'll set at 8:39 in the p.m. tonight. That'll give us 14 hours, 57 minutes of daylight. Again, 60 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG 93.7 and on the web at WRGG.org. And now here is the morning show.
Welcome back. It is hour number 2 of the morning show. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That means Jason Kabler joins us. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that means Chris Palladina joins us. I think we got it all. I'm Greg Hoover. He's Bill Gore. Thanks for tuning in today. Gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the show, both of you.
Hello, hello.
Hey. Hey, hey, hello, hello. We are ready to go. It is our top 5 70s TV shows. And I was just thinking, I don't know that yesterday we did show and tell. And I don't know, is that going to be what we're carrying on here, a show and tell? Jason sort of hijacked this segment.
So I mean, someone did since someone doesn't show up to work.
I don't know who that'd be.
We figured I figured the first and third Tuesday, it's just going to be we're sharing a song. So it'll be just like we did our top 10 songs, but this is going to be any song. It's just a song you would like for people to hear and you'd like to share with us. And on the second and fourth Tuesday, you can share anything. If you read a really good book you'd like to recommend to people, if you saw half of a Broadway play you'd like to recommend, whatever.
I want to see the second half. Now they're coming out with a second movie on that one. I haven't even seen the end of the first one. I haven't seen any of the first one, so...
Well, what happens on the rare Tuesdays when there's 5 Tuesdays in the month?
Yeah.
Then we would go back to music on first, third, and fifth.
Yeah.
Bill's like, yeah, come on.
I got it. Yeah.
Like,
and who's going to keep track of all of this?
Jason. What else he has to do?
He's got nowhere else to go.
That's right.
I mean, they can keep track that Vern comes in on Thursdays. They can keep track that, when...
We go to
Ross
Lumber
is in there and Lumber Direct and all this. I mean, it's not hard to figure out.
Okay, it's not the guy from.
It's Bob Ross, isn't it? Isn't it the painter?
Yeah.
Wait, you mean
Well, he's related.
I thought okay.
We talked.
Okay,
about
good.
It.
I was gonna say. Pretty Low Trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, here we go. So Jason, let's go. Here's your top 5 1970s TV shows.
All right. The hardest part for me was really just figuring out the order to put them in because they're a lot of good ones. Once again,
a lot of good ones.
I was born in '74, so I lived through these reruns. This was early part of my childhood. Number 5 is from 1974. It's The Muppet Show.
Yes.
I mean, Kermit, Piggy, all them awesome Muppets. Star Wars one was probably one of my favorites where Luke was on there, and I really just love the great show. And this is where it got really tricky because all 4 of these are just, well, at least the next 3 are so interchangeable. Number 4 is Welcome Back, Kotter from 1975. I mean, Gabe is just absolutely hilarious. I love that he tells a joke at the end of every episode. And then, of course, we have John Travolta making his debut on television, which was great. Number 3, it's a spin-off of Happy Days. It's Mork and Mindy from 1978. And
great Robin Williams.
Yes,
indeed.
Yeah, one of the just most incredible people out there. Just, I mean, they said that when the first season or 2, they just didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know how to handle him, so they kind of let him go wild, and he did. He said, "Don't ever let me go wild," and he did. And that was such a great show. Took place in Boulder, of course, one of my favorite places.
Well, where else are you going to see Jonathan Winters and Robin Williams together, except on maybe the Tonight Show?
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. My number 2, once again, it's just a classic. It's Happy Days. Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, one of the nicest folks from everything I've ever heard. Is one of the nicest folks in Hollywood. Tom Bosley, Marion Ross, just what a great cast until the sitcom killer came on. Do you know who I'm talking about, Bill?
What show are you talking about?
Thanks for paying attention, buddy.
I'm just kidding. I'm assuming you're referring to maybe Cosby?
No.
Oh, Happy Days.
Happy Days.
No, you're talking about Happy Days. Yeah. Tell this. Oh, you mean what killed Happy Days?
No, who's the actor that is in every sitcom? He has like curse.
Yes, what you mean. Yeah.
Chachi.
No, not Chachi.
No.
McGinley. Ted McGinley.
Yep, Tim McGinley. Yep,
Who,
he played Married with Children. It seemed like every time he got into a sitcom,
he actually came on as the shows were dying. For example, you might recall he actually, when Travolta left Welcome Back, Kotter, he came on as his southern cousin Bo.
Yep, absolutely. But it's just funny because the way it's set up is, and Bill's right, he just came on as they were dying to help try to revive him, but it just never worked, and so it kind of looks like it's a curse. And my number 1, I think Greg will probably, this will be on his list somewhere.
It is.
Maybe on several. It's he's writing it down. WKRP, 1978. Yeah, what a great show. I mean, I love the cast of characters. Johnny Fever, I think, is everyone's favorite for the most part, but I really like Venus Flytrap. I love that vibe of just sitting in the studio in the dark and just relaxing and playing that cool music. That would be more.
And it had a great theme song, too.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and it had great music. Unfortunately, when it came out on DVD, because of all the rights and copyrights and stuff, they couldn't play most of it.
Right.
And so that kind of stinks. But yeah, that's my definite top 5. And KRP is definitely number 1. But then the other 4, pretty interchangeable. I really liked them all.
Okay. Very good. Chris Palladino.
Okay, Chris, you need to give Greg some options, Greg.
No. I have my list. I'm just looking for my.
Okay, so
Now,
let's
Jason,
let Greg go first.
You know the call letters WKRP
Yes.
they came from, right?
Crap,
right? Yeah.
Yep.
I like how their mascot was a big carp.
Well, I can go. You guys.
I love when they're doing the live remote.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you can go if you like. That's fine. But I trust that you have it all under control there, Greg.
I do. There's my list for those who are seeking it out. Yeah.
Well done, Greg.
You're asking the blind man to look at your paper, right?
I know. Yes, as always is the case.
All I saw was milk, eggs, butter. I don't know what that was. Is it a recipe or a shopping list?
Mute Jason Kabler's mic. That's what it said.
All right, my number 5. I'm going to go with All in the Family.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I've actually watched a couple of reruns here recently, and I've forgotten some of the nuances of the show. But when it comes right down to it, it challenged the bigotry and racism and all of these. I don't know. Help me out here, Bill. What are some of the other words that are euphemisms for prejudice that was going on?
It tackled all of that,
Yeah,
and it did
did.
it from a blue collar perspective, which was a rare thing on television.
And it was funny.
Exactly, it
the
was
way they
funny,
did it.
and it was actually evenly balanced as well, and you felt for the family, and the cool thing was it had a great cast. It was incredibly well written, but more than that, it spun off so many shows.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's just
And it had Meathead.
Meathead, exactly. Yes. Well, that launched his career, and of course, he went on to a very successful career as a director.
Yeah. And of course, is having a dad like Rob Reiner, not a bad thing.
Right.
Doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
But so All in the Family would have been my number 4. My number 5. My number 4 would be the Smothers Brothers.
Ah.
Oh,
I had a feeling they'd be on your list. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it a bit, but I think it's now in the YouTube age, it's a little bit more readily available and understandable for me because now I'm not 10 years old anymore, so I don't.
Right.
Some of the countercultural references would have gone over my head then, but I liked it then because they had great musical acts.
Right. Yeah.
So that was my attraction back then. Number 3, Laugh-In.
Ah, man.
Sock it to me.
Yes.
Suck it to me. Suck it to me. Suck it to me.
Goldie Hawn's big break.
Yeah, of course.
Richard
Bruce
Nixon.
Buzzy.
Hey, wait a minute.
Buzzy
Bruce
just
Buzzy
passed
passed
away.
away. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Suck it to me. It was my
There you go. There's Nixon.
Richard Nixon.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that was just groundbreaking in its own way. And things like Artie Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's just a whole lot of them that were just.
Well, and going back to the Smothers Brothers, Pat Paulson and his eternal quest to become president.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a running joke. Yeah, I remember seeing stickers that said Archie Bunker for president, Pat Paulson for president, and stuff like that. That was cool.
It was.
So I'm going to kind of stick with the theme there and go with the comedy shows. I'm gonna say Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Would be my number 2, and that was a must-watch TV when it came out. The original cast of the not ready for primetime players, and my number 1 would be a show that I mentioned last week because it started in 1969, but really that was the British thing for Monty Python. Over here, it didn't start getting played on public television until maybe 74, 75, something like that. So to me, it's a Monty Python is this 1970s TV show to me.
And
Right.
What about
That'd be my number one. I love Monty Python.
Now, were you also a fan of Faulty Towers?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Of course, anything that Cleese plays in is great.
Of course, yes.
So, all right. Bill, you are up.
All right, sir. Hey, I went, by the way, SNL will be, just a little foreshadowing, SNL will do our 80s. That'll definitely be on there because, like you, Chris, that was actually not only must-watch for me, it was something I watched with my dad every Saturday night. And
Really?
Oh, yeah. My dad and I watched that faithfully every Saturday night throughout the
Well,
80s.
he must have been a pretty cool guy then.
Oh, my dad's like the coolest guy ever. Let's see, number 5, Space 1999 was on from 75 to 77. It was a British show. Caught that on Canadian television. And it was really cool. It's created by a husband and wife team, Jerry and Sylvia Anderson. They were all over British television. But it also starred a husband and wife team of Martin Landau and Barbara Bain, who, of course, had also been together on Mission Impossible.
You know, Bill, last night I was going through my list, and I was looking up, just seeing if there was anything I missed, and I saw that, and I never heard of it. And I asked Carrie, I was like, because she loves all science fiction.
Yes.
And I was like, have you ever heard of this Space 1999? And she hadn't even heard of it. And I was like, there's only 2 seasons, and it's just weird that I'd never heard of it. And it's funny that you brought that up.
Moon Base Alpha was the location. Of course, they're on a moon base. What happens is there's an explosion, and it shoots them off course. They go hurtling through space. So every week, it's who they encounter on their journey and their attempt to get back home.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. It's, let's see, number 4, The Johnny Cash Show from 1969 to 1971. Unfortunately, it became the victim of what they call the rural purge, when a lot of shows that aimed primarily at rural audiences were wiped off the networks. Hee Haw was one, Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and The Johnny Cash Show. But a phenomenal, you had Johnny, you had the Statler Brothers, you had his Tennessee 3, his band, June Carter, the entire Carter family on every episode, and then the guest stars. There's a really, really cool clip you can find of Dennis Hopper reciting the Rudyard Kipling poem "If" on the Johnny Cash Show, that alone was worth seeing. Number 3, I've got Taxi from 1978 to 1983. In fact, my next 2, Taxi and the one, my number 2, both of them have a couple of things in common. They were incredibly funny. They were well written, spot on, and the cast were just amazing. And that brings me to the next one, WKRP in Cincinnati. That's my number 2. From 78 to 82. Again, the cast, the writing. And then it had those moments, for example, the accident with The Who. Of course, when all those people got crushed when they thought.
Yes.
And they had an incredible episode that ended with these guys going off to a candlelight vigil and really tapped into the feeling at the time. And
Well, they also tapped into other things like All in the Family did.
Yes,
They tapped into racism with
Yes,
Venus
they did.
flytrap
Oh, of
and
course.
even homosexuality and things like that. So they were very early on that.
Venus, when he applied for a
house.
Yes, at the Gone with the Wind Estates.
Yep.
Oh, boy. All right, then my number 1, because it was such a cool show, The Rockford Files from 74 to 80. James Garner, he's so good at everything he's in. And this is a guy who had a number of hit TV shows, and The Rockford Files, it's just a private eye show. And one of the things I've always found near and dear to my heart, it's actually the show that launched Tom Selleck's career. He played a private investigator named White who'd come in. He was very flashy, always wore suits and ties, the exact opposite of Rockford. He would often come in and claim credit for Rockford's hard work, and that's what got him the attention he deserved for Magnum PI.
Yeah.
So there you go. The Rockford Files is my number 1.
Yeah,
again,
I watched that too.
Nice.
Another show I watched with my parents as well. It's a great show.
Okay, my turn.
Yes.
I have them done. Right here they are.
Finally.
Number 5, this is going to, there's no new shows on here that you haven't already mentioned. Maybe. Number 5, Welcome Back, Carter. Number 4, Happy Days. Number 3, Saturday Night Live. You had to run home to be home to watch Saturday Night Live at 11:30. And when you're a young kid in your 70s, that's hard to do because you want to be out running around. But we did. Number 2, WKRP in Cincinnati. And number 1, MASH. Did we mention MASH?
MASH never got mentioned. But that was on my list too.
Yeah. MASH is number one, and still watch it today. I know I've seen every episode 14 times, but it's still great. I'm not even going to say comedy. Great TV. You leave it at that. So
lasted what, 4 times longer than the actual Korean
War.
War.
The war did. Yes, it certainly did. So. All right, there's our top 5 list.
Hey, Lisa Parsons said Sanford and Son was a good one too.
Oh, it was. Yes, yes, it was. Let's go back
based on the British show Steptoe and Son.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still every time you see a pickup truck with garbage on,
Yes.
it's always or loaded up to the gills.
Yes.
You're always talking, "Hey, Stanford, pull over." So.
Well, Red Fox was a classic.
Oh,
my goodness, yeah.
He was. And how many
It's
times?
a shame he died of that heart attack.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was going to
The
say,
big one.
how many times do we do that? Someone says something, interesting, or it's the big one. It's coming.
I'm
Here
coming.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm a coming. What was her name? Ethel? No, it wasn't Ethel. That was Ray
Stevens.
Ray Stevens in the streak. So,
I've forgotten. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who else did you have on your list there, Jason?
Yeah.
I did have Taxi. Once again, I mean, just Christopher Lloyd's character, Jim Ignatowski, was worth it alone.
Yeah.
And a fun little fact about it was...
Who's that, Alex? That's your brother Tom, Jim.
Yes.
Hello, Tom, Jim. It's nice to meet you.
A funny, famous thing is how Danny DeVito got the job. He basically walked into the audition and held up the script and said, "Who wrote this?" and then said a 4-letter word that we can't say on the radio. And they just loved his attitude. And they're like, "Yeah, okay, you have the attitude of the grouchy boss here." So that's how he got that job.
Yeah, well, I love Andy Kaufman's character.
Absolutely. Oh, Latka
Yeah.
and Sinka. This one isn't on anyone's list, and I really enjoyed it. It's The Odd Couple.
Yeah,
Andy Randall.
Yes,
yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
It's on my
Felix and
honorable
Oscar.
Yes.
Uh,
Hold on. One of my favorite lines was when
Huh.
Felix left a note for Oscar. Then Oscar says later, "It took me half an hour to figure out FU stood for Felix Unger."
Oh, that's hilarious. That's very funny. My next honorable mentions one is almost like the Saturday night, or I forget which one of y'all said that. Oh, it was Chris with your Monty Python actually came out in the 60s. It's The Facts of Life. It actually came out in 79. That was the first season. It had Molly Ringwald.
Right.
But I'm more familiar with it in the 80s. But the first season wasn't horrible.
No.
So that's why I made honorable mention.
By the way, Scott Douglas types, "I'm coming, Elizabeth."
That's right, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Elizabeth, thank you, Scott.
And don't forget George Clooney getting his big break on Facts of Life.
Absolutely. His very first hit was a TV show called ER that was a half-hour comedy.
Yes, with Elliot Gould.
Which was really weird. He's in a comedy and then a drama, both called ER. Let's see. Then we got Saturday Night Live once again. That could probably be in every single decade. I'm probably one of the rare few people that still really enjoy this cast we have now.
I do too.
Yeah. I can watch every weekend. It's not perfect. There's a segment or two that are just like, yeah, that could have been cut. But most of them are really
You
funny.
can say that about every decade of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yep.
For me, I mean, I've talked about this before. Anything that Sarah Sherman's in is great to me.
Oh my God, she's amazing. She's so funny. Her, especially on the Weekend Update when she's with Colin Jost.
Yeah.
And oh man, they're great. And my final one, guys, I had to have a cartoon, and this is a great cartoon. It's the Tom and Jerry Show.
That almost made
from
my list.
1975. And I'm sorry, I didn't scroll down. I do have one last one that I'm a little bit surprised didn't on someone's list, and that's The Gong Show from 1976.
Yeah, forgot about the Gong Show.
It was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre show.
It was good. It was good.
Barris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spy.
The spy.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you ever read that Confessions of a Dangerous Mind or see the movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he claims he was a spy.
I have to see that one. I know that.
But he's the guy who gave us
classic.
the Newlywed Show and the dating game. He also wrote Palisades Park for Freddie Cannon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
right.
Chris, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm not going to mention the ones that we've already gone over because
Yeah.
we did a couple of them there on my list. But let's go with Kojak.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah. And Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
That almost made my list. That was a great show.
I really like that one. And the Partridge Family.
I was wondering who would bring that up.
I think I love you.
I mean, every high school kid wanted to be Keith Partridge, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
sure.
right?
Why not?
Get the girls, man.
I get it.
And
All
Ruben,
right.
Ruben Kincaid.
And Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, got his career.
Well, maybe
kicked
you
off.
wanted to be Danny Bonaducci. I wanted to be Keith Partridge.
Okay. Let's see. Bill, who's yours?
Vegas with Robert Urich as Dan Tana, the private investigator.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got, The Muppet Show as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just worth watching. I mean, first of all, the jokes were hilarious. Just the animatronics, the puppetry was made, the sets. The guest stars were just phenomenal. I've got the Bob Newhart Show among my honorable mentions.
That was on my list.
Yeah.
I'll take that off now.
Barney Miller.
That was on my list.
Another one that had great writing and a phenomenal cast. And there was no showboating. Everybody got like equal time on air, and it was phenomenal. And one of the first like grown-up shows that I was allowed to watch, and that just blew me away, Starsky and Hutch.
Yes.
There you go.
All right, I've eliminated everything that's been mentioned before to narrow it down a little bit. Benny Hill. I don't know when it came out, to be really honest with you, but I can remember watching it in the 70s. Yeah, I just loved that show. I don't know why. It was because it was so simple, I think.
Well,
and my simple
how
minds
many of
needed
us
that.
have like jokingly patronized someone by tapping them on the head, like he used to do that old man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he was like the new Charlie Chaplin.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Just running around 20 miles an hour. One that the next three are I guess because they weren't that popular, I picked them out. But Lancelot Link, I love those monkeys.
Yes, that's a great.
I don't remember that.
Mata Hari and
Look it up, Jason. Look it up. Lancelot Link. They're they're monkeys that are spies. It's a great show.
Yes.
Great show. And amazingly, somehow they get these monkeys to talk. I don't know how they do it, but
I think it was kind of like Mr. Ed. I think they put gum in their mouth.
yeah, something like that.
The full title was Lancelot Link, Secret Chimp.
That's right. It was Secret Chimp.
Yeah.
CPO Sharky, only because I like Don Rickles. And I used to call him Don Wrinkles, but Don Rickles. And I
saw that name yesterday, and I'd never heard of that. I was like, what is this?
And the best part of that show, one time he was on Johnny Carson and broke Johnny Carson's cigarette box, and he was recording in a studio next to the Tonight Show. And Johnny says, "What? I've had this since 19. What happened?" Well, Rickles. So he takes the camera and interrupts the TV show to complain about that one. So
And calls him a hockey puck.
yeah, he does. And the other one I used to like was Flip Wilson. Remember the Flip Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah, the devil made you do it.
That's right. There you go. Devil made you do it. So there it is. That's my honorable mention.
The one funny thing about Flip Wilson, and you can see the behind the scenes shot of it, is the joke they played on him, where he was supposed to open a door and the camera couldn't see it, but he could see it. When he opened the door, they had a naked woman standing right there.
Yeah.
And they got his reaction. I think the audience could see it, but we at home couldn't see it. But his reaction, I guess for a long time, we were like, "What is he seeing that's making him act like that?" It was funny.
Geraldine.
There you go. That's our look at the 70s. I'm assuming, gentlemen, we're moving on to the 80s for next week.
Sure, that sounds good to me. I think it's gonna be really, really hard for me because the 80s were huge.
Oh, my
for
number
me
one.
as far
My number
as-
one's just too easy, so I've already got that one.
I haven't even looked to see what's in the 80s. It all runs together for me.
Yeah,
By the way, for just FYI, for the 70s, Carrie loved like things like the Battlestar Galactic and Buck Rogers and all those, and then Chips.
Ah, yeah.
She was a huge fan of Chips.
Yeah, very good. All right, guys, we're going to hit the road. Thanks for joining us today, all three of you, as a matter of fact, because I know Bill is off to McCollumsburg, and you guys are going to disappear off the Zoom, you Zoomanites, and we're going to.
Now, I won't talk to you till Tuesday.
Oh, you're not going to be around Friday? Oh, that's right. We have the
You're downstairs, so
we're
yeah,
downstairs.
we'll talk on Tuesday.
All right,
And
that makes
Tuesdays,
sense.
think of a cool song you'd like to share.
All right.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be there, I don't know if you will.
I'm
just saying.
Well, it's a good point. I don't know either. I don't know
Yeah,
either.
you could be, but if you are there,
okay.
bring a cool song you'd like to
try
hear.
very hard to be there. All right. We good? Everybody good?
Yes.
All
Good.
right, guys.
Take care, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Always a lot of fun. That's our Zoomanites there, Chris Palladina and Jason Cabler. Bill, thanks for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
We'll see you tomorrow morning right here, right now, tomorrow morning on The Morning Show. Right now, we're going to go news, sports, all that stuff right here at WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Curfew is now in effect for downtown Los Angeles as police report mass arrests tied to ongoing protests. L.A. Mayor Karen Bass.
I have declared a local emergency and issued a curfew for downtown Los Angeles to stop the vandalism, to stop the looting.
The LAPD says several groups are still gathering, and anyone in the 1 square mile curfew zone from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. could be arrested if they aren't exempt. Protests against ICE are spreading across the country. Thousands have taken to the streets in New York, Chicago, Denver, and D.C. President Trump weighed in, warning his military response in L.A. could be the first of many. He says other cities may see equal or greater force. And a bill cracking down on abortion pills is now on Governor Jeff Landry's desk in Louisiana. Lawmakers gave final approval Tuesday to a measure that blocks out-of-state providers from sending or giving abortion-inducing drugs to Louisiana residents. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Do you have an aging loved one who needs a little or perhaps a lot of help in order to stay independently in their home? Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle can provide the help you need at affordable rates. Heritage can provide assistance to medical appointments, personal assistance, or medication reminders. Help can be provided for grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and meal planning. If you're looking for companionship for your aging loved one when other responsibilities require your time, Heritage In-Home Care can provide that. They have been serving Greencastle and surrounding communities since 2006. Personalized attention is provided for your aging loved one's specific needs, giving you peace of mind.
Flying Boxcar
Knowing that they
recap
can stay
in
their
3,
home with all the care they need. Heritage In-Home Care Services of
2,
Greencastle.
1.
You may obtain more information by calling 717-593-0242.
This is a Radio PA News Update. Former Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney defended the city's sanctuary policy in a Washington Post op-ed, calling it common sense amid a broken immigration system. He praised California Governor Gavin Newsom for resisting Trump's National Guard deployments during recent ICE raids. Kenney said the policy helps protect undocumented immigrants, estimated at 50,000 in Philadelphia, from fear and encourages cooperation with local services. Though he didn't mention Mayor Parker, he did urge Democrats to speak clearly and morally in defense of immigrant communities. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and other Democratic governors are calling President Trump's activation of the National Guard in Los Angeles to deal with anti-ICE protests an alarming abuse of power. In a statement, members of the Democratic Governors Association say they are effectively the commanders-in-chief of their National Guard units, and the federal government activating them without consulting or working with the state's governors ineffective and dangerous. Some lawmakers support boosting Pennsylvania's tourism budget.
They're calling for more money to support major events like America 250. A statewide coalition is requesting $36 million more than Governor Shapiro's proposed $64 million, bringing the total to $100 million. That's more than Virginia and New Jersey plan to spend to celebrate the nation's semi-quincentennial. Upcoming events, including the 2024 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, 2026 FIFA World Cup, PGA Championship, and NFL Draft, are expected to draw global crowds. Legislators stress the need to improve Philadelphia's SEPTA transit system to accommodate visitors and support local residents.
An anti-ICE protest took place in Old City outside Independence Mall on Monday afternoon as demonstrators stand in solidarity with protesters in L.A., where the president has called in additional National Guardsmen and Marines. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Cool, refreshing spring water and delicious hot coffee or tea. Always conveniently single-serve dispensed to the touch. Available from Tobin-Hawken Mountain Spring Water and Mountainside Premium Coffee, located on Antrim Way South in Greencastle. For delivery to your home, office, shop, or place of business, a call to Tobin-Hawken at 717-261-5955 will assure you of thirst-quenching water, coffee, and tea, delivered to where and when you want it. Thanks to Tobin-Hawken Mountain Spring Water for their continued support of WRGG Radio.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. We've got a very special VIP birthday coming up at the end of the week. Get to that in a minute so you can, wish that person a happy birthday. We'll give you plenty of time to do that. First, another report from Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. coming up in the Echo Pilot. This time the mayor writes about the Greencastle Antrim High School class of 2025. Also, upcoming events in the borough. A building to be demolished soon in Greencastle Borough, and Troop 99 meets Troop 99. Huh? Find out what it's all about online in the Echo Pilot. And thanks to Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. for all you do, sir. In other news, in Franklin County, a Hagerstown man has finally been indicted on fleeing and eluding, speeding, and other traffic offenses during a traffic chase that happened in April of 2024 when Jeremiah Walter Smith was clocked doing around 120 miles an hour by Pennsylvania State Police and Washington County Sheriff's deputies while he crisscrossed back and forth over the state line on I-81 and other roads in the area before it all ended in Greencastle. Smith is also facing charges in Washington County in a separate incident. He remains in Franklin County Prison on a $100,000 bond. The monthly Greencastle Police Report for May has been released. GPD responded on 289 calls last month, including assisting EMS and other agencies on 21 combined calls, 32 traffic stops, 6 welfare checks, and numerous other calls and follow-ups. Also, Chief Batistig reports that last month he and Officer Kamoy and GPD Administrator Erica Fate participated in a free training session offered by Norfolk Southern. The training focused on emergency operations in the event of a large-scale train emergency. It was highly informative, according to the chief, very valuable, and lots of good information. So who's having a special birthday? Well, it is none other than Franklin County VIP, former Franklin County Commissioner, World War II veteran, and all-around amazing man, the Honorable Sam Worley, celebrating his 104th birthday this Friday. So get the word out and say happy birthday to Mr. Worley. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
For a quick pick-me-up for one, or to treat the entire team after a big game victory, Mikey's Ice Cream has been a favorite local stop for decades. A delicious sandwich, a light snack, or a refreshing drink always hits a spot when it comes from Mikey's. And your favorite ice cream flavor will taste even better in a Mikey's homemade waffle cone. Always a relaxed family atmosphere, Mikey's Ice Cream and Green Cow Gift Shop, a proud supporter of WRGG, is conveniently located at 179 South Antrim Way, Greencastle.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
A number of Blue Devil athletes are honored by the Mid-Penn Conference for their performance during the spring sports season. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports. Brought to you by the John Allison Public House. 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. No surprise, as the Blue Devil softball team put 6 players on the Colonial Division softball all-star teams. Leading the way for Greencastle on the 2025 First Team All-Star Squad were Caroline Logsdon, Meadow Gambacurta, and Kirsten Swain. Zen Reuter and Caden Zimmerman were both named to the Second Team All-Star Squad, while Kendall Rice was named to the Third Team. The Blue Devil girls softball team will play for a state championship Friday against District 7's Penn Trafford High School in a game that will be played at Penn State University. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team had 3 of their players earn Colonial Division All-Star status. Carter McCauley was named to the first-team All-Star squad for the 2025 season, while Elvin Robles and Nolan Sullivan were both named second-team Colonial Division All-Stars. Also this morning, it took a marathon-like game to keep a Mid-Penn Conference baseball team from advancing to the state finals. East Pennsboro was defeated yesterday 6-5 by Indiana High School in a game that took a state record 17 innings to complete. The game began on Monday and was called due to darkness in the 14th inning and completed yesterday. Indiana High School moves on to the state finals in the 4A classification to play Montoursville on Friday. The previous record for the longest state playoff game had been 15 innings. That's a look at sports for a Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
It was game one of the three-game set between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the York Revolution on Tuesday. And, well, unfortunately, it was all York on Tuesday. Final score 10-1 in favor of the Revolution. 10 runs on 15 hits for York. One run on 3 hits for the Boxcars. The winning pitcher, the starter for the York Revolution, that went the distance in this one, facing 29 batters, throwing 106 pitches, but going 9 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 9. The highlight for the Boxcars was Joe DeLuca smashing his 6th home run, 422 feet out of Meredith Park in the second inning. But that was all the offense for the Boxcars on Tuesday. They take on the York Revolution in Game 2 of this final 3-game set of the homestand for the Flying Boxcars on Wednesday. 6:30 first pitch. Come on out. Park Night. Brought to you by Hardy Pet. So if you want to bring your 4-legged pup out to the ballpark, go ahead and do it tomorrow or do it on Wednesday. And if you can't come out to the ballpark, you can always tune in on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network on Flow Sports. I'm Jordan Icewarner from the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network.
Old Home Week is soon approaching, and that means it's the WRGG and the Greencastle Antrim Old Home Week Big Show at Green Grove Gardens, happening on Monday, August the 4th. This year, it'll be the fabulous hubcaps, providing you with the soundtrack of your life. You'll know all the songs and all the words to the songs, so come on out and join the party and dance the night away. There will be food available for purchase. Tickets are on sale now by calling Linda at 717-597-5460. VIP seating is $35. General admission is $30. That's the fabulous hubcaps on stage at Green Grove Gardens, Monday, August the 4th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Brought to you by WRGG and the Greencastle Antrim Old Home Week Association. Sponsored by WellSpan Health, Patriot Federal Credit Union, Franklin County's Visitors Bureau, Hurley Auctions and Real Estate, and Farmers Union Co-op. For tickets again, call Linda at 717-597-5460.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have sunny skies, high around 84. Clear tonight, low around 65. Thursday, sunny, high around 89. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low around 67. Friday, partly to mostly sunny skies with a chance of scattered afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms, high around 87. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. Currently 62 degrees in downtown Greencastle, with the humidity now down to 88%. Record high for today, it was 97 degrees in 1911, 36 degrees in 1913 for the record low. Second of 3 days for 1913. 58 to 82 is your average temperatures for today. 5:42 in the morning, that's when the sun came up. 8:39 in the p.m. is when it'll set tonight. And we are entitled to 14 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is 62 degrees at 93.7 WRGG, on the web at WRGG.org. And, of course, just let us know. I don't know what that means. Just let us know. Anyway, I'm Greg Hoover. Coming up in just a few minutes, make it about 20 minutes, it'll be Cash, Klein, and the King, or Klein, Cash, and the King, as a matter of fact, appearing at Green Grove Gardens coming up on Saturday. We'll talk with them once again, and again, moments away on that one. But right now, as not always, you know how we go here. Sometimes we do always, sometimes we don't do always. But It's time for now. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid is as stupid doesn't. Stupid is as stupid does, sir. Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
And people are crazy. All right. Not very smart people. They're crazy. Here we go. Number one, a woman in Brazil, terrified of dentists, used super glue to stick her teeth back in her mouth. There you go. Eventually, the toxic chemicals in the glue meant she'd lost most of the bone supporting her teeth in her upper jaw, and she was forced to spend her life savings on treatment. Sad part of the story, but don't be stupid. Don't super glue. I know we use super glue. Interesting enough, people use super glue like to patch up wounds now. I know they use some form of it in the hospital, but I don't know if it's the commercial bought super glue. So just be careful of that. That doesn't sound like what you really want to do. Number two, a British Airways flight attendant was arrested after he was discovered dancing naked in a bathroom on a British Airways flight from San Francisco to London. During the dinner service shortly after takeoff, crew noticed that this guy had gone missing. A search of the aircraft, and how seriously, how much do you have to do the I don't get it. It's not a big plane, so they should have been able to find him. A British flight attendant, and they found him in the performing his impromptu dance in the business class lavatories. Concerned a little bit about his well-being, the crew suspected he could be under the influence of whatever. After being relieved of his duty, the attendant was dressed in first-class pajamas. Like, he didn't come on board with naked, so where was his clothes? I don't know. First class. I didn't know you got pajamas in first class, and I never did that. Never flew first class. Seated in an empty first class seat for the remainder of the flight. Crew alerted authorities, leading to police meeting the flight and the attendant being wheeled away for medical attention and subsequent arrest. Plan your drug activities differently. I don't know. Number three. Early Sunday morning in Newark, New Jersey, a thief was arrested for attempting to steal a tire from a vehicle which was owned by a police officer. The off-duty officer spotted a man tampering with his vehicle and approached him. A struggle ensued between the officer and the would-be thief. Fortunately, a nearby police patrol vehicle was flagged down, leading to the arrest of the suspect. Now, again, tips for thieves, and don't like to promote this, but I'm just being honest. Know your target, okay? I shouldn't do that one. And number four today, a 26-year-old off-duty deputy in Florida Sheriff's Office has resigned following her arrest on Saturday night for riding a motorcycle with a counterfeit license plate. Authorities discovered Eric Amuzi's motorcycle had a plate reading "Chase Me," or CHASE. M3, so chase me. The trouble began shortly after 11 when deputies noticed Muzzy's tag was flipping up and down and not visible. She was pulled over and then taken into custody, facing charges for possession of a counterfeit license plate. How many times have we heard that people do their own license plate and think that that's going to work? I don't know. And finally, the Memphis Police Department is searching for two men who were caught on camera leaving a home on bikes with a stolen vanity, faucet, and countertop. No arrests have been made yet. Now, the other reason it's not, should have been arrested by now. Hopefully they have been, but do your work properly. Again, tips for thieves. Take a vehicle, not a bicycle, to carry that stuff. I mean, I think somewhat to a certain degree, you're easily recognizable driving down the street on a bicycle with countertops and things like that. All right, here we go. Back to the top to review. Number one, by the way, we talked about super glue. This is the woman with super glue. Mom afraid of dentists used super glue to keep teeth in mouth. Super glue was first used, according to Bill Gore, and of course he would know this, to patch up wounds during the Vietnam War, which I get that. Just don't put it in your mouth. Number two, flight attendant arrested after dancing naked on flight. Number three, thief caught stealing the tire from an off-duty police officer's car. And number four, off-duty deputy resigns after arrest for fake license plate. And number five, it's men seen carrying stolen counter and a faucet on bikes after burglary. That is our top five, or excuse me, not our top five, good grief. That is our stupid is as stupid does. for today, 1 through 5. You know how to get in contact with me? You can email me at studio at WRGG.org. You can also text me at 717-444-WRGG. If you know how to get a hold of me one way or the other, you can do the same thing there and get a hold of me. And we'll tabulate the votes that are coming in, and we'll let you know who wins right after we do the birthday club previously recorded. I say that, but here we go.
We're starting back in 1880 with the birth of Jeanette Rankin. American politician, was the first woman to be elected to the House of Representatives. She was a Republican from Montana, was elected in 1916 and 1940. A lifelong pacifist, she voted against entry into both world wars. Jacques Cousteau, born on this day in 1910, French naval officer, explorer, ecologist, filmmaker, and inventor of the aqua lung, or the scuba tank, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. In case you ever wondered what scuba stood for.
Aqua lung seems so much better.
Oh, I know. Come on, Jeff Rotel.
I know, that's what I think of.
He hosted the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau on television from 1966 to 1976, and the Cousteau Odyssey from 1977 to 1982. Vince Lombardi, born on this day in 1913, football coach who led the Green Bay Packers to 5 NFL championships in 7 years, plus the first 2 Super Bowls. He also coached the Redskins for 1 season back in 1969. Has some great quotes, including "Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. And the measure of who we are is what we do with what we have."
That one gets misscrewed. The first one gets misscrewed a lot.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
not winning is everything.
Right.
Winning's not the only thing. It's everything. No. It's, wanting to.
Exactly. Gene Wilder, born on this day in 1935, American actor, comedian, writer, filmmaker. He started off in dramatic films like Bonnie and Clyde. Of course, he went on to star in a string of Mel Brooks hits, including The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, which he co-wrote. He was also Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and a series of films with Richard Pryor, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and Another You. Adrienne Barbeau, born on this day in 1945, American actress, played Ma's daughter on TV, went on to star in a number of films, including The Fog, Creepshow, Swamp Thing, Escape from New York. A number of films directed by her husband at the time, John Carpenter. She originated the role of Rizzo in Grease on Broadway, and she was the voice of Catwoman in Batman, the animated series. Frank Beard, born on this day in 1949, an American musician and drummer for ZZ Top. Ironically, of course, the guy named Beard was the only member who didn't have a beard. Yes. Along with Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill, they're inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. Songs like "Give Me All Your Lovin'," "Sharp Dressed Man," "Cheap Sunglasses." Bonnie Pointer, born on this day in 1951, member of the Pointer Sisters. Of course, in 1974, people forget they won a Grammy for Best Country Vocal Performance by a duo group for the song Fairy Tale. Made them the first African-American women to win a Grammy in the country category, and the only ones until Beyonce did so recently. And she actually left the Pointer Sisters in 1977 to start a solo career, a huge hit with "Heaven Must Have Sent You." Joe Montana, born on this day in 1956, American football quarterback, led Notre Dame to the 1977 national title and led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl wins. He was also a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He was inducted to the Football Hall of Fame in the year 2000. Hugh Laurie, born on this day in 1959, English comedian, actor, writer, part of the comedy duo Fry and Laurie. He's also, of course, on the TV show House MD, as well as Black Ad. He released 2 blues albums, and it's actually been featured on the Box of Blues, which, by the way, you can hear here on WRGG Sunday nights from 8 to 11.
Yes.
Peter Dinklage, born on this day in 1969, American actor. Of course, he's an Elf, X-Men Days of Future Past, Pixels, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Avengers Infinity War, Game of Thrones, and The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. But Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do, Bill. Here they are for today, the 11th day of June. We celebrate Haley Appleby with a birthday today. Zach Burt has a birthday today. And Lynn Klein, that would be Gary's wife. That all comes together. He's appearing at Green Grove Gardens on Saturday. Her birthday is today. So happy birthday to Haley, Lynn, and Zach right here on the Morning Show's Birthday Club. We do it each and every day before the 7 a.m. today. 9 o'clock news, of course, we'll do it again. Coming up in 1 hour. You got a birthday you want to celebrate, go to our webpage, WRGG.org. Fill out the information there. We'll get it on the air. We'll celebrate your birthday or anniversary right here at 93.7 WRGG. Yes, indeed. We'll do the birthday club once again in about 1 hour, right before we sign off for today here on the morning show. Let's see, the morning show. Oh, I know what we review here. We go back to tell me something stupid. No, it's tell me something good. Stupid is, stupid does. It's the first time I've done it, I think. Anyway, number one was Mom Afraid of Dentist used super glue to keep teen in mouth. That received heavy voting. Number two, flight attendant arrested after dancing naked on flight. Number three, thief caught stealing tire from off-duty officer. That caught some votes, but not a lot of votes on that one. Number four, off-duty deputy resigns after arrest for fake license plate. And number five, men seen carrying stolen counter faucet on bikes after burglary. But our winner, I'm not going to say by a landslide, but achieved a lot of votes, was the off-duty officer. And the reason a lot of people said she should know better, and it was stupid for her to do that, and, to write up a fake license plate. And they have license plate readers and all those things now, so don't do it. Stupid is as stupid does. A semi-regular edition here, or a portion of the morning show, and that's what we have for you today. So coming up just a few minutes, if everything comes together here, we'll be talking to Klein, Cash, and the King, all coming up right here at 93.7 WRGG. Now, I know I've talked about this a lot, but I do want to reiterate, big day coming up on Friday. Our drive-by fun drive will be out on the front porch here at Greencastle's 113 South Carlisle Street. Drive by. If you don't know where that is, near Zimmerman's Funeral Home, near the old fire department, as we like to say. You come down the road there from the square, you can see it. It has a big sign. Of course, the idiots will be sitting out on the front porch yapping away, and that will be us. And stop by, and we ask for donations, just to keep this community radio station alive. And then at 9 o'clock, we have a special edition of Chalk Talk. We usually have that on Thursday evening, but we're going to go with Friday morning with that one. And it all gets underway at 9 a.m. Gary Klein, John Freeman, maybe Ed Gottwals. Who else? We don't know, but we do know some special guests coming your way with that one. Mark DeCarli, head coach of the Greencastle Antrim softball team, will be present. And he said he would like to bring his seniors players along that have been together for this ride. And we'll talk to him a little bit about season past, the game coming up, of course. And then at 3 o'clock-ish, if we can pull it off, the pregame show will start from Penn State. You can see we got a busy day coming up. And we'll travel to Penn State. We'll have the play-by-play for you right here on 93.7 WRGG. And the game starts at 4 o'clock. Everything goes well. It's when it'll be 4 o'clock as the girls go for their second state championship in program history. Last time was 2009. That was at Shippensburg University's. And this year, lately they have been playing at Penn State at their field up there. Opponent on Friday is the Penn Trafford Warriors. Can they do it again? Well, find out. As we said, tune in here to 93.7 WRGG. Going to hit the news at the top of the hour as we do. And if everything comes together, I think I've used that term. We'll have Klein, Cash, and the King right here, 93.7 WRGG. Stay tuned.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting around the world at WRGG.org and in southern Franklin County at 93.7. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. A curfew is now in effect in downtown Los Angeles as police report mass arrests tied to ongoing protests. The LAPD says several groups are still gathering, and anyone in the 1 square mile curfew zone from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. could be arrested if they're not exempt. At least 25 people have been arrested on suspicion of violating the curfew. More from Daniel Martindale.
The arrests were made on Tuesday night at the end of Day 5 of violent anti-ICE protests in the city. The LAPD announced it was initiating mass arrests shortly after 9 p.m. A curfew is now in place for a 1 square mile area of downtown LA between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Earlier in the day, the LAPD and California Highway Patrol made 205 protest-related arrests. The LAPD expects the number of arrests to grow. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Protests against ICE are spreading across the country. Thousands have taken to the streets in New York, Chicago, Denver, and D.C. Thousands marched through the city's streets yesterday in Chicago after holding a rally downtown. President Trump weighed in, warning his military response in L.A. could be the first of many, and says other cities may see equal or greater force. The president is warning against protests at Saturday's military parade on his birthday in Washington, D.C. More from Mark Mayfield.
The president issued the stern warning while speaking from the Oval Office.
For those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, you know, this is people that hate our country. But they will be met with very heavy force.
The parade is set to happen as anti-ICE protests have been happening in Los Angeles and other cities. Saturday's parade to honor the Army's 250th birthday is expected to draw hundreds of thousands of attendees.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Oh, the birds are chirping, days are warming, and more daylight each day. Yes, it's the perfect time to stock up on all your spring planting needs. Lumber Direct has onion sets and a wide variety of vegetable packets. Everything to ensure a bountiful, beautiful garden. Lumber Direct has mulch, bagged and bulk. There's everything you'll need for spring cleanup in the home and out in the yard. There's a great array of quality Vaspar paints, perfect for any job, indoor or outside. Lumber Direct, 10 East Water Avenue in Greencastle. Lumber Direct, a proud sponsor of WRGG and many other Greencastle Antrim community projects.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
If you want the highest quality, locally grown fruits and produce nature will allow, and so much more. Tracy's Orchard, 12483 Hollowell Church Road in Greencastle, 717-597-7565. They also have 19 varieties of apples, 18 varieties of peaches, and lots of other fruits and vegetables, all locally grown. There's nothing better than their homemade goods, jams, jellies, pie fillings, ciders, and freshly baked pies made with their products.
Flying Boxcar recap in 3, 2,
Tracy's Orchard, stop on by.
Tracy's Orchard, helping to sponsor the programming on
1.
WRGG.
Hi, folks. Lanny Carball. You're looking for bluegrass music? Hey, WRGG has bluegrass music right here every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. And if you happen to be up early on Friday morning, say from 4 to 6 a.m., you got it again. Bluegrass is WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have sunny skies, high around 84. Clear tonight, low around 65. Thursday, sunny, high around 89. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low around 67. Friday, partly to mostly sunny skies with a chance of scattered afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms. Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. 63 degrees, starting to heat up a little bit as we do expect highs around 84 degrees today. Again, 63 degrees. The humidity is still up at about 87%. Record high for today, 97 degrees. Came back in 1911. It was 36 degrees on this date in 1913 for the record low. It is the first of 3 days that day will be, or 1913 will have the recorded low. Average temperatures for today between 58 and 82 degrees. Sun made an appearance at 5:42 in the a.m. It'll set at 8:39 in the p.m. 14 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is at 63 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG 93.7 and on the web at WRGG.org. And now here is the morning show.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Welcome back to the morning show, hour number 3 here on a Wednesday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Busy day, but it's going to get busier as we get through it here. But nevertheless, stay tuned. Keep it here. We'll do all the things that we normally do here. My Zoom guests have not zoomed in, so we're okay though. We are ready to go. I have prepared for this in case things didn't work out. So since they didn't work out, we will just continue on with what we normally do here on the morning show. And we started off with the countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It is the John Allison Public House Countdown, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located 155 South Answer Way in Greencastle. Their doors open up at 11 a.m. And, of course, today you can enjoy an outdoor eating area and drinking area, if that makes any sense at all. And we'll do that here real quick here. I will tell you what, though. It does appear Michael is on the line for me. Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Oh, there he is. So, okay, let me do this.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. We are set and ready to go. There's
been a change of plans, but I'll explain everything to you. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, we're on the air, man. We're on the air, ready to go. Are you okay?
All right. So, I'm fine, just confused. I've been doing this a long time, and we came into a snag here, and I don't understand how to handle this, but this is the situation, unfortunately. We have gotten the request, well, not the request, but the a message from the sound gentleman that supposed to handle the show for this weekend, the show, that they've supposedly canceled the show. I have not gotten confirmation from the venue or the gentleman in charge.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I don't know where that leaves you. I
don't either, because Eventbrite actually has the tickets still being sold.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts us, in a situation here. I've been doing this for a long time, and, never had a situation like this. I can't reach out to him. I can't get a hold of him. He's not returning my phone calls. I don't know what else to do.
So let me ask you this, Michael. Are you going to show up or not? Because,
the thing is, we're supposed to have a hotel room booked we've been trying to get that booked for almost a month, and he hasn't gotten it taken care of.
Yeah. So I got the funny feeling.
I don't know if he's having health problems. I don't know what's going on with him exactly.
Okay.
But to be left in the dark like this and not knowing what's going on is kind of like, it's not fair to me. It's not fair to the people that are coming. I don't even know if there's a refund available from people that have already got tickets for Eventbrite.
Right.
I just want to make sure that our reputation stays in place, and even Green Grove Gardens' reputation stays in place. But it's kind of hard that there's no communication.
Right. Well, so at this stage of the game, no one knows for sure. We would suggest contacting Green Grove Gardens, but good. I don't know. If you have.
I received a text message I received from the sound guy said that he canceled the sound.
Yeah.
He told me not to come. And
wow.
He said that. It's pretty much a done deal. Okay, but I haven't heard from him directly, and that's not fair to us because I have guys coming from Pennsylvania and everything else, and traveling all over the place to do this. And
well, it sounds to me. Where, obviously, if your sound guy's not going to be there, you don't have a show.
Exactly. I mean, if we show up, and there's no sound, we have a problem.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Yes, I don't even know what else to say about that. You can't play without bands can't play without a sound. They can play, but you're not going to hear.
I mean,
them.
the
You're not
bottom
gonna hear
line
you
is
sing.
there's no hotels either booked. So, I mean, the
Yeah.
guys can't come all the way there. We do stay overnight in their car, and they're going to stay in their car all the nights and sleep while they're waiting to,
You could bring a
float
tent,
up.
I guess.
mean,
I don't know, but
I've been doing this a long time. We've run into all kinds of situations, weather, and all kinds of things that happen, and I get it. It's life. I do understand that.
Mhm.
But when it comes down to it for us, and, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, and I'm sorry about all this, but we have a show coming up in Pittsburgh. Warrendale?
right.
We're doing gerbils. You know where that is?
Yeah, I've heard of gerbils, and I was going to ask you when your next show is. So gerbils in Pittsburgh is your next performance.
June 22nd, Warrendale.
Okay.
June, and that is being promoted all over the place. I mean,
Right.
that thing is huge. It's CeeLo Green's played there. A lot of people have played there, and that's a really cool venue that we really are looking forward to. We're looking forward to this too. But I mean, we've been doing this for so long. That to us, it's not just like Elvis and Patsy and Johnny. It's not about us. It's about the people that are coming to the event and the experience they should have had.
Right.
And it's not fair, that this happens to them because that really, it's not like we're having COVID here again and there's an issue like that. No offense.
Right.
I mean, I get it. People get sick. I understand.
Right.
But if there's no communication, I mean, this guy blatantly, my Patsy contacted him the other day, and I'm sorry if I'm bringing this up, but I'm just calling it what it is. Okay.
Yep.
He hung up on her after he found out about you. She said, "Well, what's going on with the sound? How come? What's going on?" And he hung up on her and blocked her.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good.
After six phone calls. I mean, she tried to call him back to find out what's going on because I've been trying to get for a month. I've been trying to get the hotel booked.
Yeah. I know you have been.
I get
know
nothing.
you have been.
I get nothing. I'm running through all these hoops, doing everything I can, take time out of our schedule and everything else. And this guy just isn't doing his job. And I don't understand because he took care of a deposit. He owes us a balance. There is a balance that's owed.
Right.
And, it's not even about that. I mean, I did say to him, I left a voicemail because he wouldn't answer the phone so much. I'm like, look, the bottom line is, we're not going to show up. We're going to show up. We're going to be there. But the thing is, we're not going to go on that stage until we get paid up front before we walk on the stage because it's not about the money. It's about the ethics and the morals behind it.
Right.
Okay. That's only fair because we earned it. We're working for it. We're putting all this stuff together and they're promoting and marketing this thing. And he's not doing his job.
Okay. Well,
it's called professionalism, and respect.
Yeah. Well, Michael, listen, I'm not going to dwell on this, and I know you got a lot of
I don't like being negative. I hate being negative.
Sure.
Like, believe me.
Yeah. So I'm going to just change the subject a little bit. Do you have any other places besides the Pittsburgh area that you're going to be performing in the area?
Not in the area, but what I am doing, we are working on doing something really kind of cool, and we want to put some stuff together. We're trying to work on a tour. Mm-hmm. So any venues out there that that are looking really for a cool Patsy and Johnny and show that I think would be really, I know would do really, really well. And we're really excited about it. I mean, we just rehearsed twice in the past couple of weeks, and the guys are amazing. I mean, they're so tight, and they have such a huge background in even blues and stuff like that. I mean, the guys are amazing. They're just incredible, musicians in general.
Right. So
we practiced. Let's put it this way: we practiced with minimal equipment, no sound, in a small room, and like a decent sized room, and it came out sounding absolutely phenomenal and tight as anything. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when the energy's there and you do things the right way and you put your heart and soul into it, and people feel that, but to us, it's really about the magic. It's about creating really something special for people when they come see us perform, and that's really what we're going to try to do.
Okay. Now, if people want to learn more about you, your website is?
They can go to
or Facebook.
Michael O'Connor. They can go to Michael O'Connor, World Class Elvis, or they can go to look up Elvis and Patsy Cline, or they can or Elvis and Patsy Cline Back in Baby's Arms, or they can also go to Jack Romano Stories, which is Jack Romano does Johnny Cash, And also, they can also go to, if they look up Playing Cash in the King, they'll find some stuff. We're working on a brand new website, which will probably be launched in about a week or two, probably in time for Jurgles. We're going to have it done, and I was going to force it and get it put done, but for this weekend, but everything going on, it's just been kind of nuts.
Yeah,
So,
I bet it has been. So, well, Michael, listen, it's been nice talking to you a couple times. I wish you all the luck at Gerbils for sure, and in your future endeavors with that. You get back in our area, give me a call, okay?
you know, there's some theaters in Chambersburg we would like to be able to do something in, or maybe we could do something in Hagerstown, or
Yeah,
whatever.
they both
and
have
I know
pretty
you
good.
and I have discussed the fact about doing something maybe at the school.
Yeah.
You know,
there are some great
Possibly do
theaters in
something.
Chambersburg and Chambersburg and Hagerstown, along with Gettysburg, all in the area. They have some really nice theaters that would be great for the show. So hopefully, maybe you can connect with that. And we'll if that comes to fruition, we'll certainly talk to you again and tell Patsy that we said hi and hope that everything goes well from here on out. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate that, and I just want people to know I don't want them to all coming to the show this weekend. I know, nothing going on, and
Right.
I don't want them to think it was us or whatever. It's just the way it is, and I didn't know what else to do about it. So
Okay.
I had to do what I had to do because I want to make sure that everybody's happy and everybody has a great experience, whether it's going to be this one or coming forward. But I will say this: if anybody reaches out, if I can give them my email address.
Sure.
Okay, Elvis Tribute Tour. So ELVISTRIBUTETOUR @gmail.com. I will personally myself, because of the inconvenience, I will personally give them a $10 discount on any shows we have coming up out of my own pocket, just to be fair to try to work with people going forward doing a show, because I think it's only fair to them to try to, because I really know that if they came to see our show, they would absolutely love it.
All right. Very good. There it is. It's Elvis Tribute Tour at what was the last part of it?
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. So.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
All right, Michael, you have yourself a great day if you can the rest of the day. And again, good luck to you in the future. And we'll hopefully talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Greg. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that didn't quite work out like we planned or like anyone planned. So, okay. Well, let me continue with the countdown. That's the best thing to do right now, I think. Just go with that. Go with the flow here. It is the John Allison Public House Countdown, brought to you by the John Allison Public House. We're looking at the 11th day of June. Believe it or not, it is a Wednesday in full force. 162 days into the year, 203 days left. 19 days to get your car inspection, and make sure you get an appointment to get your car inspection like I do. And it was amazing. All I had to do is mention it on the radio. I got myself an appointment, and that's what that's what you gotta love, don't you? That you really do. 18 days to do that. Dixon's and Angela Way Honda. 1 day, actually 2 days, I guess. I'm reading the wrong one. 2 days left to the drive-by fun drive. Our hours will be a little different than, as we mentioned, on Friday. We'll be going probably 6 a.m. to about 11 a.m. as we're going to do the morning show from 6 to 9, Chalk Talk 9 to whatever, but probably around 11 o'clock. Got to pack up the equipment that we use for the remote on the porch to take along with us to Penn State to do the softball game later on at 4 p.m. that night. So that afternoon. So the fun drive will be shortened on Friday. Saturday, though, we do hope to go 6 to 3. And, of course, you'll have us in the morning show in the morning, and then Hollis follows us at 9 o'clock, the young man with the golden touch. And then at 12 o'clock, Big Mike will be here. All this happening on the porch at 113 South Carlisle Street in Greencastle. Flag Day is Saturday. That's the second day of our fun drive. Flag Day, 3 days away. Make sure you get your flags out. And, of course, that is the official anniversary of WRGG, 9 years in the making. Father's Day is the next day, 4 days away. 9 days to the first day of summer. Only 9 days away to the official start. June 20th is the date. 20 days to Canada Day. 4th of July is now 23 days out. 30 days to the Sidewalk Days. 30 days, Sidewalk Days here in Greencastle. We'll be broadcasting live down on the square and looking forward to that event as well. 52 days to Old Home Week now. Only 52. 53, Jason Kabler on the square. No, excuse me. I don't know why I said it that way. It is the Florida Keys on the square. And then Jason's on Thursday night right after the parade. And, of course, on Monday of Old Home Week, it's the WRGG Old Home Week Committee Big Show featuring the fabulous Hubcaps. Haven't seen the Hubcaps in a while. This might be the last chance you get. They're on a farewell tour, and I think this is it for them. They're not like some of the other groups that you hear. They do a farewell tour, then come back and do another farewell tour. Not the case. So get your tickets. Call Linda at 717-597-5460. That's what's going on there. Our square in Greencastle, 410 days accident-free, which is pretty good. 410 days accident-free. The record, by the way, is, where is that? 764 days. So, we're over halfway there to set a new record. Hopefully we can do that. 410 days on that one. We've been on the air 3,364 days, and the morning show today, 2,044. Yes! 2,044. Not bad for a show they said would not last. 186 days for the morning show in a row.
Yes!
Okay.
Oh, yeah!
Thank you on that one. 186 days. And Mike Bach is now down to 2 days. He has Thursday, Friday, and actually I think it was Saturday last year when he did it. So we'll give him 3 days at best, 3 days to get his 32 days in. Well, okay, so he usually does an hour and a half. Even if he does an hour, that's 32 hours. He could do that in 3 days. He'd just be constantly on air all the time. So we'll see if that is a possibility, which you know darn well it isn't a possibility. So we won't really worry about that at all. All right, let's do this. It's sometimes we do. Coming up in the next half hour after the news, sports, and weather, we're going to take a look at the worst story of the day, come back with Tell Me Something Good, and then we'll do the birthday club, and then find out what I learned today, all coming up in the half hour before 9 o'clock. These are animals performing badly, I think, or behaving badly. But I like this story. A massive alligator weighing nearly 400 pounds and measuring 10 feet long, affectionately named Pepe the Gator. See, you give them those friendly names, and people think the alligator is friendly. That's not the case. He was captured in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Local authorities spotted Pepe loitering dangerously close to a roadway right off the double yellow line, where he seemed blissfully unconcerned about a nearby no loitering sign. The Onslow County Sheriff's Office took to Facebook to share the amusing details of the incident, noting that witnesses reported Pepe was simply chilling and snapping. Sheriff's Office cited Pepe for suspicion of being a dinosaur without proper papers, public loitering with an intent to sunbathe, and obstructing traffic. After his capture, Pepe was relocated to a boat ramp a few miles away, where he was released back into his natural habitat. The largest alligator ever reliable recorded measured 19 feet and 2 inches. That's almost double the size of this one. And was reportedly killed in 1890 on Marsh Island, Louisiana, by, they even give the name here, Edward Avery McElhaney. This was never officially verified, making it a legendary but unconfirmed record. Among confirmed records, the largest verified alligator in recent times was the Stokes alligator, caught in Alabama in 2014. It measured 15 feet 9 inches and weighed about 1,000 pounds. An alligator from Arkansas weighed 1,380 pounds in 2012 and measured 13 feet and 3 inches. Okay, so there you have that one. A guy in China was left with hurt pride and a sore lip after he got drunk and tried to kiss a turtle. Surveillance video showed the man stumbling into a seafood section of a store and handling the turtles in a glass tank. After 30 minutes, he thrust his head into the tank and emerged with a turtle clamped to his mouth. I should have saved that for Stupid Is and Stupid Does, because that's pretty doggone stupid. I don't know that the animal was behaving badly. because it was the guy's fault, wasn't it? A farmer in a small village in India spotted a snake on the floor of his bedroom and released the reptile outside. The man said he returned to his bedroom and found 3 more snakes in his bed. Oh, I just got one of those, things going up and down my spine there. The man said he returned to his bed. Yeah. He searched for the source of the serpent invasion and ended up discovering 40 snakes living inside his window air conditioner. He was able to extract the snakes with the help of neighbors and release the reptiles into a nearby wooded area. A veterinarian said a mother snake had apparently laid eggs inside the air conditioner, which had not been in use for several months, and then they finally hatched. Oh, man. No, thank you. That's all I got to say. That one, animals behaving badly on that one. Gosh, terrible, terrible story. But just the way it is. So, all right, let's see what else we have here today for you. Let's see. I did not know this. I don't know that I would have mattered much if I did know it or not. But the popular AI tool ChatGPT suffered a worldwide outage on Tuesday. Dating app conversations suddenly became 90% less Shakespeare, 100% more like, hey, because they're not using that to write their things. Study found that men recover from the flu faster than women because their bodies contain a greater amount of protein that helps recovery. And here I thought it was because men with the flu stayed in bed watching Netflix while women with the flu cooked, shopped, and did the laundry. I thought that was why they recovered quicker, but I guess that wasn't it. So, on that one. That's where we're at. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday at from 8 to 10, June 14th on Flag Day, the Greencastle VFW is sponsoring a free breakfast for all active duty and United States Army veterans and their immediate families. On Saturday, June the 14th, it's from 8 to 10 a.m. This commemorates the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States Army. The Greencastle VFW is located at the intersection of South Washington Streets and Leitersburg Streets. If you have an event you would like for us to promote here at WRGG, send it to us at events@WRGG.org. We'll get it on the air for you as well. And speaking of that, coming up on Monday at the King Playground, it's movie night. They return. You know, every year they do the summer movie series. It's their first free summer movie. This first one will be Despicable Me 4, which I like Despicable Me's. Because I like the Minions. So the movie begins at dusk at the bandshell located on the south side of the playground. Along with the movie, there will be free ice cream, popcorn, and water. Can't beat that, can you? Rain date is Tuesday, June the 17th. And again, right here at King Playground. That's on the south end. The south end, the way from the bridge, the bandshell down by the Greencastle Borough shed. So you'll know where to find it and get things done there. So that being said, time for us to head to the bottom of the hour. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, news from NBC, PA Radio News. You got Scott Douglas local news. You got also John Freeman's local sports. The update from the Hagerstown Boxcars and the weather from Jim Vaughn. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
From high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Protests against ICE are spreading across the U.S. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass issued an overnight curfew in a 1 square mile area of downtown L.A. where most of the violence and vandalism has taken place since the protests began last Friday. The LAPD arrested dozens of protesters on Tuesday. Protests have also broken out in New York, Chicago, Denver, and Washington, D.C. U.S. and Chinese officials have apparently reached a trade deal in London. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told reporters after Tuesday's meeting that the two sides have reached a framework to implement a Geneva trade agreement. And Nintendo's newest video game console is breaking sales records. The Switch 2, released last week, managed to rack up more than 3.5 million units sold in just 4 days. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
This is a Radio PA News Update. Parents and teachers at Philadelphia's High School for Creative and Performance Arts say fake grades were given to hundreds of students in math and gym classes that went months without instruction. Some math classes received arbitrary grades like 89s despite no lessons, raising concerns about fairness, college transcripts, and learning gaps. District officials say they're working to resolve the issue, but many families report inconsistent answers and no clear fixes. One parent called the situation a fraud, with students losing a full year of math instruction. London Mayor Sadiq Khan urged students shut out of U.S. universities by Donald Trump's administration to consider studying in the U.K. Speaking at the Concordia Europe Summit, Khan praised London as a beacon of hope and promised a warm welcome to foreign students. He criticized governments embracing narrow nationalism, warning it harms economies and divides societies. Though he didn't name Trump directly, Khan has been a vocal critic of the president, who has dismissed Khan as a stone-cold loser. A Nigerian man has been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for his role in a sextortion scheme that led to the suicide of 20-year-old college student Jack Sullivan in Jenkintown. Samuel Abiodun laundered money sent by Sullivan, who was blackmailed into paying thousands after being tricked into sharing explicit images. The judge called it a cybercrime of the highest order. Abiodun apologized, saying he didn't intend for anyone to get hurt. He will be deported after serving his sentence. Protesters in Philadelphia will hold a No King's Day march and rally this Saturday, the same day as Donald Trump's birthday and his planned military parade. The protest targets Trump's policies, recent deportations, and spending bill, with events set across the city and Delaware County. The march begins at 10 a.m. at Love Park and moves to Eakins Oval for a rally from 1 to 3 p.m. Major road closures will start at 3 a.m. SEPTA buses will be detoured. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Greencastle Ace Hardware is expanding again to serve you even better with a larger inventory of in-stock merchandise to select from. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a locally owned family business with a friendly, knowledgeable customer service staff, always available if you need help when shopping for your hardware needs. Greencastle Ace Hardware is conveniently located at 785 South Washington Street near the fire station. Ace Hardware also offers custom glass cutting, window and screen repair, house and auto key cutting is available. Have a question? You may call Greencastle Ace Hardware at 717-597-7799. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a proud supporter of WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. We've got a very special VIP birthday coming up at the end of the week. Get to that in a minute, so you can, wish that person a happy birthday. We'll give you plenty of time to do that. First, another report from Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. coming up in the Echo Pilot. This time the mayor writes about the Greencastle Antrim High School class of 2025. Also, upcoming events in the borough. A building to be demolished soon in Greencastle Borough, and Troop 99 meets Troop 99. Huh? Find out what it's all about online in the Echo Pilot. And thanks to Mayor Ben Thomas Jr. for all you do, sir. In other news, in Franklin County, a Hagerstown man has finally been indicted on fleeing and eluding, speeding, and other traffic offenses. during a traffic chase that happened in April of 2024 when Jeremiah Walter Smith was clocked doing around 120 miles an hour by Pennsylvania State Police and Washington County Sheriff's deputies while he crisscrossed back and forth over the state line on I-81 and other roads in the area before it all ended in Greencastle. Smith is also facing charges in Washington County in a separate incident. He remains in Franklin County Prison on a $100,000 bond. The monthly Greencastle Police Report for May has been released. GPD responded on 289 calls last month, including assisting EMS and other agencies on 21 combined calls, 32 traffic stops, 6 welfare checks, and numerous other calls and follow-ups. Also, Chief Batistig reports that last month he and Officer Kamoy and GPD Administrator Erica Fate participated in a free training session offered by Norfolk Southern. The training focused on emergency operations in the event of a large-scale train emergency. It was highly informative, according to the chief, very valuable, and lots of good information. So who's having a special birthday? Well, it is none other than Franklin County VIP, former Franklin County Commissioner, World War II veteran, and all-around amazing man, the Honorable Sam Worley, celebrating his 104th birthday this Friday. So get the word out and say happy birthday to Mr. Worley. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find always fresh, home-style salads made the way you like, prepared locally in their very own kitchen. That's Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Macaroni, potato, redskin potato, cream slaw, coleslaw, and others. Looking for something for lunch or enough for the entire family's evening meal? You'll find it all at Brandon Meats and Deli. Having a special event, Brandon offers a large catering menu with a wide variety of options, including setup and serving your guests. They are open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Brandon Meats, helping to support the programming of WRGG.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
A number of Blue Devil athletes are honored by the Mid-Penn Conference for their performance during the spring sports season. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports. Brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. No surprise, as the Blue Devil softball team put 6 players on the Colonial Division softball all-star teams. Leading the way for Greencastle on the 2025 First Team All-Star Squad were Caroline Logsden, Meadow Gambacurta, and Kirsten Swain. Zen Reuter and Caden Zimmerman were both named to the Second Team All-Star Squad, while Kendall Rice was named to the Third Team. The Blue Devil girls softball team will play for a state championship Friday against District 7's Penn Trafford High School in a game that will be played at Penn State University. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team had 3 of their players earn Colonial Division All-Star status. Carter McCauley was named to the First Team All-Star squad for the 2025 season, while Elvin Robles and Nolan Sullivan were both named Second Team Colonial Division All-Stars. Also this morning, it took a marathon-like game to keep a Mid-Penn Conference baseball team from advancing to the state finals. East Pennsboro was defeated yesterday 6-5 by Indiana High School in a game that took a state record 17 innings to complete. The game began on Monday and was called due to darkness in the 14th inning and completed yesterday. Indiana High School moves on to the state finals in the 4A classification to play Montoursville on Friday. The previous record for the longest state playoff game had been 15 innings. That's a look at sports for a Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Flying Boxcar recap in 3, 2, 1. It was game one of the three-game set between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the York Revolution on Tuesday. And, well, unfortunately, it was all York on Tuesday. Final score 10-1 in favor of the Revolution. 10 runs on 15 hits for York. One run on 3 hits for the Boxcars. The winning pitcher, the starter for the York Revolution that went the distance in this one, facing 29 batters, throwing 106 pitches, but going 9 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 9. The highlight for the Boxcars was Joe DeLuca smashing his 6th home run, 422 feet out of Meredith Park in the second inning. But that was all the offense for the Boxcars on Tuesday. They take on the York Revolution in Game 2 of this final 3-game set of the homestand for the Flying Boxcars on Wednesday. 6:30 first pitch. Come on out. Bark Park night. Brought to you by Hardy Pet. So if you want to bring your 4-legged pup out to the ballpark, go ahead and do it tomorrow or do it on Wednesday. And if you can't come out to the ballpark, you can always tune in on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network on Flow Sports. I'm Jordan Icewarner from the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network.
Hi, JP McCartney, 93.7 WRGG. My show,
JP McCartney, ABC Oldies,
is on every Friday with the best of the 60s, 70s, and more. We've got a Beatles song every hour.
The Beatles!
And the classic countdown, too. Join me, JP McCartney, ABC Oldies, Friday on 93.7 WRGG.
Fridays at 12 a.m. and again at 6 p.m.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have sunny skies, high around 84. Clear tonight, low around 65. Thursday, sunny, high around 89. Partly cloudy Thursday night, low around 67. Friday, partly to mostly sunny skies with a chance of scattered afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms, high around 87. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
67 degrees, sunny skies in downtown Greencastle, humidity at 70%. The record high for today, 97 degrees back in 1911, 36 degrees on this day in 1913, 2 or 3 days for 1913 to be at the 2 or 3 days for 1913 to have the lowest temperature. That's what it is. Average temps for the day between 58 and 82. We are there and somewhat in the middle of that as the expected high to go about 84, so a little bit out of that range. Sun came up at 5:42. It'll set at 8:39, 14 hours, 57 minutes of daylight. Again, 67 degrees at 93.7 WRGG and on the web at WRGG.org. I'm Greg Hoover. Thanks for tuning in today on a Friday. We're getting ready, or excuse me, a Friday. I jumped ahead, didn't I? Wednesday. Get ready to wrap things up here on the morning show. Don't forget, coming up 9 o'clock, best music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s right here at WRGG. Well, here is our worst story of the day. And we'll follow that up with Tell Me Something Good in just a minute. But in a troubling case of wildlife crime, a Virginia man has pleaded guilty to killing over 20 bald eagles and hawks, primarily red-shouldered and red-tailed species. The investigation began during the 2023-24 waterfowl season after reports surfaced of traps and poison targeting the majestic birds. The suspect, an avid duck hunter, had constructed a waterfowl impoundment on his property to attract ducks. However, he admitted to killing the raptors because they were preying on the ducks and he was luring them in. Authorities discovered a trap used to ensnare birds of prey and a juvenile bald eagle carcass on his property. The man's guilty plea led to charges under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act, which criminalizes the taking or possession of protected birds. Ultimately, he was sentenced to 1 day in jail, 2 years of probation, and nearly $10,000 in fines. Just a terrible story. Terrible story. I that's all I'm going to say about that. Glad they caught him. Glad that's taken care of. With that being said,
tell me something good. Tell me something good.
So it's a really good story if you're these two people. Two different stories. We overwhelmingly see potholes as a nuisance, but one pothole in India turned out to be a lifesaver for an 80-year-old man. The man, who had been experiencing health issues, was pronounced dead by doctors and was being transported for his last rites when the ambulance he was in hit a deep pothole. When the ambulance arrived, the man's grandson noticed movement in his hand. After checking for a pulse, the ambulance driver was urged to rush the old man to the nearest hospital, where doctors confirmed that he was alive. Doctors say he remains in critical condition, but is breathing on his own. That must have been one heck of a pothole to restart somebody's heart if that was the case on that one. And the Czech Republic, an 88-year-old woman was mistakenly declared dead by a coroner, only to be awakened with funeral preparations were underway. The alarming event began when her partner noticed she was unresponsive and immediately called emergency services. Following protocol, coroner arrived and declared her legally dead, prompting funeral workers to prepare her body for burial. However, as they were working, the workers realized she was still alive. The woman was rushed to a nearby hospital. She's reporting to be recovering well. Again, a good story for those and everyone around them. Gosh, that's just, I don't know. Just strange that way. So just, when I always say that to Rhonda, when she thinks I might have passed away, get a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion, just to be safe. This week, the Goodyear Blimp's Pilgrim is flying over Ohio, where its original hangar was located. The Blimp, there are 4 of them currently, is celebrating 100 years. The Blimp has participated in over 2,500 events and has given more than 500,000 rides. Now, I'm assuming that the Goodyear Blimp, is this the original Blimp? I mean, I shouldn't assume that. That's a long time. That's good mileage. And I bet they had a extended warranty on that bad boy. But over 100 years of the Goodyear Blimp. And finally, before we head to the birthday club here in just a few minutes, what most dads want for Father's Days. Now, I don't know this. I don't know. I haven't read the story yet, of course. So let me see what it says. Socks, a new tie, a new barbecue grill, time on the golf course. Well, listen, I don't wear socks. I've sort of retired from wearing ties, and I don't barbecue. So those things are out. Time on the golf course, that'd be okay. What's dads really want for Father's Day? According to a new survey, 56% of dads prefer to spend Father's Days with their children or grandchildren. Sharing a meal at home is the second most popular choice, 44%, followed by going out to eat or drink, 36%. Older dads, 65 and older, especially value connection, with 51% wanting a phone call or a visit and 25% not wanting any gifts at all. Younger dads, 18 to 34, are more interested in material gifts like clothing, tools, gift cards, holidays, and experiences. From a spending perspective, the National Retail Federation forecasts record-breaking Father's Day spending of $24 billion this year, with the average spend per person about $199. Father's Day, of course, is this Sunday, June the 15th. So there you are. If you're looking for some ideas, it sounds like it could be made easy if you just spend some time with your father. I think that's what it is. So there you have it. All of that, all the good stuff and all the bad stuff, all put together right there in
Birthday
order.
Club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates birthday club on WRGG.
We're starting back in 1880 with the birth of Jeanette Rankin. American politician, was the first woman to be elected to the House of Representatives. She was a Republican from Montana, who was elected in 1916 and 1940. A lifelong pacifist, she voted against entry into both world wars. Jacques Cousteau, born on this day in 1910, French naval officer, explorer, ecologist, filmmaker, and inventor of the aqualung, or the scuba tank, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, in case you ever wondered what scuba stood for.
Aqualung seems so much better.
Oh, I know.
It?
Come on, Jeff Rotel.
I know, that's what I think of.
He hosted the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau on television from 1966 to 1976, and the Cousteau Odyssey from 1977 to 1982. Vince Lombardi, born on this day in 1913, football coach who led the Green Bay Packers to 5 NFL championships in 7 years, plus the first 2 Super Bowls. He also coached the Redskins for 1 season back in 1969. Had some great quotes, including "Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. And the measure of who we are is what we do with what we have."
That one gets miscrewed. The first one gets miscrewed a lot.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
not winning is everything.
Right.
Winning's not the only thing. It's everything. No.
No.
It's, wanting to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder, born on this day in 1935, American actor, comedian, writer, and filmmaker. He started off in dramatic films like Bonnie and Clyde. Of course, he went on to star in a string of Mel Brooks hits, including The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, which he co-wrote. He was also Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and a series of films with Richard Pryor, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and Another You. Adrienne Barbeau, born on this day in 1945, American actress, played Maud's daughter on TV, went on to star in a number of films, including The Fog, Creepshow, Swamp Thing, Escape from New York, a number of films directed by her husband at the time, John Carpenter. And she originated the role of Rizzo in Grease on Broadway, and she was the voice of Catwoman in Batman, the animated series. Frank Beard, born on this day in 1949, American musician and drummer for ZZ Top. Ironically, of course, the guy named Beard was the only member who didn't have a beard.
Yeah. Yes.
Along with Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill, they were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. Songs like Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, and Cheap Sunglasses. Bonnie Pointer, born on this day in 1951, member of the Pointer Sisters. Of course, in 1974, people forget they won a Grammy for Best Country Vocal Performance by a duo group for the song Fairy Tale. Made them the first African-American women to win a Grammy in a country category, and the only ones until Beyonce did so recently. And she actually left the Pointer Sisters in 1977 to start a solo career, had a huge hit with Heaven Must Have Sent You. Joe Montana, born on this day in 1956, American football quarterback, led Notre Dame to the 1977 national title and led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl wins. He was also a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He was inducted in the Football Hall of Fame in the year 2000. Hugh Laurie, born on this day in 1959, English comedian, actor, writer, part of the comedy duo Fry and Laurie. He's also, of course, on the TV show House MD, as well as Black Adder. Released 2 blues albums. It's actually been featured on the Box of Blues, which, by the way, you can hear here on WRGG Sunday nights from 8 to 11.
Yes.
Peter Dinklage, born on this day in 1969, American actor. Of course, he's an Elf, X-Men Days of Future Past, Pixels, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Avengers Infinity War, Game of Thrones, and The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. But Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do, Bill. Here they are for today, the 11th day of June. We celebrate Haley Appleby with a birthday today. Zach Burt has a birthday today. And Lynn Klein, that would be Gary's wife. How that all comes together. He's appearing at Green Grove Gardens on Saturday. Her birthday is today. So happy birthday to Haley, Lynn, and Zach right here on the Morning Show's Birthday Club. We do it each and every day before the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock news. Of course, we'll do it again coming up in 1 hour. You got a birthday you want to celebrate, go to our webpage, WRGG.org. Fill out the information there. We'll get it on the air. We'll celebrate your birthday or anniversary right here at 93.7 WRGG. Join us tomorrow. We'll do the Birthday Club again before the 7, 8, and 9 o'clock news right here. You got a birthday for tomorrow. You can still get it to us. Go to our webpage, and it's a drop-down screen. You hit it, you click on it, and you get the template, I guess is the best way of saying it, and fill out the information there, and that makes it very easy and ready to go. Well, Kanye West, previously known as Kanye West, then as Jay, is changing his name again to Ye in official California business filings. Despite his CFO naming him so in the records, it remains uncertain if West has legally altered his name. In 2018, West switched his name to Ye, explaining that it signifies you in the Bible, reflecting unity. Okay. Yay is double unity. I don't know if I know that for sure with that one. My. Chris Palladino says the next time he changes is going to be yo-yo. So, hey, guys, a little off the rocker. I just got to say that. Oh, my. And Real American Beer, founded by Hulk Hogan, I'm telling you, brother, in 2024 is spearheading a bid to buy Hooters of America. All right, Hulk. As the chain navigates Chapter 11 bankruptcy filed in March, initially interested in just the brand name, Real America has broadened its scope, assembling a team to drive the revitalization of the brand. One problem that the Hulkster faces is, well, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, that's not one problem he faces. U.S. liquor laws prohibit alcohol brands from owning restaurants, so the brand cannot own it. With that, so I don't know what's going on there, but maybe wish him luck, I guess. The 4 things you didn't know yesterday. Here we go. And the highest point in Pennsylvania is lower than the lowest point in Colorado. Think about that. The highest point in Pennsylvania is lower than the lowest point in Colorado. The first toilet ever seen on television, it was on Leave It to Beaver. However, viewers saw only the water tank. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. The average person falls asleep in 7 minutes. Now, I never really timed it because, if you start the clock and I'm going to stop it when I go to sleep, you don't know when you go to sleep. So you got to have someone there watching you do that sleeping. That'd be fun. In 2015, a 91-year-old Chicago man got to fulfill a lifelong wish to back a vehicle through a garbage door. Walter Thomas was able to slam an SUV through a garage door. Did I say garbage door? Garage door. Let me read this again. In 2015, a 91-year-old Chicago man got to fulfill a lifelong wish to back a vehicle through a garage door. I don't know if I've never had that urge. But this guy did. So Walter Thomas was able to slam an SUV through a garage door with his family's help. The garage was scheduled to be torn down anyway, and the SUV was donated. So I guess it was an older one. So there's 4 things you wish you didn't know, but you do now that you didn't know yesterday, right here on The Morning Show at 93.7 WRGG. On the morning show,
Today, when
Greg Hoover
points your way, what will you say?
Well, what did I learn today? First of all, I learned that I can make a car inspection appointment just on the radio. I did not know that before, and my thanks to Dixon's Automotive Center for making that dream come true with that one, and that. I also learned that scuba diving equipment was once called aqualung, which I like, but not what it ends up being. So that being said, that's basically it. A few other things that have passed along the way here, but we'll just let that go at that stage of the game and go on from there. It is The Morning Show. I'm Greg Hoover. Thanks for tuning in here on a Wednesday morning. Don't forget, best music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s coming your way, moments away, here at WRGG after the news at the top of the hour at WRGG. Tonight's Lanny Carball and Bluegrass Connection starts at 6 o'clock. And then after that, Anything Goes radio show with Gen V. That starts at 8 o'clock. It's all right here at WRGG. Don't forget, tomorrow, coming up, is Thursday, Vern's Day. Vern will be here. He had last weekend off as he had grandfather duties, and I understand that. That happens every now and then. But he'll be back and at it, ready to go, filling us with loads of information I'm sure that no one ever thought of before. And that comes up in sometime after 7:30 tomorrow, maybe 8 o'clock. It depends on how it goes with Vern. Depends on how busy his day is. You know how that is sometimes. It's just incredibly busy for him. And that's okay. That's okay. That is tomorrow, Thursday, and on the morning show. And Jackie at the mic as well in the 7 o'clock hour. And then, of course, Friday is our Drive-By Fun Drive, which we're very much looking forward to. We'll be out in the front porch starting bright and early, 6 a.m. And we'll be there till approximately 11 o'clock because, a lot going on Friday. Got to get ready to go to the game up at Penn State. And by the way, that gives talking about that, join us Friday morning at 9 o'clock. We're going to do Chalk Talk a little early. Well, it's usually on Thursday, but then I guess we're doing it a little late. But we'll bring in Mark DeCarli will be our special guest, and I think he's going to bring the seniors on this softball team along, and we'll talk to them in the 9 o'clock hour. All that coming up Friday, and then Saturday it's more of the Drive-By Fun Drive right here at 93.7 WRGG. Well, it is the morning show. We do it each and every morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I maybe apologize a little for today. Things go a little sideways at times. You never know, do you? You just never, ever know. I'd like to thank Bill Gore, Chris Palladina, Jason Kaler, Ben Thomas Jr., Elisa Parsons, Scott Douglas for their contributions to the show. Also for Scott, John, Jim, Michael Kastner, and let me get this right today, Juan Fernando for the news. We appreciate all they do. And Jordan We'll get his last name too. For the Boxcars update, which will feature every morning right here at 93.7 WRGG, every morning after they play. So, something new. So, enjoy the sunshine today. Highs around 84 degrees. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. Hey, be safe out there. Thanks for listening.
The Morning Show on WRGG.
The opinions expressed on this program or any program broadcast on this station